Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Infamous NBA. The NBA Finals start tonight. Can't wait.
Tonight, we are live with NBA Finals coverage on the infamous NBA channel with
Holy
my
shit.
co-host,
Uh-huh.
infamous Sorbrock,
Yep.
and me, Kyle. How's your
F-
day going?
Fucking fantastic. The first time we've ever recorded one of these when the sunlight's out. That's interesting. I mean, it's the finals. It's a big day. Should have a great series on our hands. Two great teams, well-rounded. I think we got a good finals on our hands. Do you
Yeah,
tend to
no,
agree? I mean, this is insane.
yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling juiced. It's gonna be a good day, good sports day. Get some
Mm-hmm.
NBA Finals action in. We're living. We had some technical difficulties when we
Oh,
went in
yeah.
for the original recording, so
Oh,
we
yeah.
moved it to an early little recording in the day,
Early
and
slate.
I'm fucking ready to go. I'm feeling good. I'm
Yeah.
feeling loose.
Like that.
Maybe like I could do a couple jumping jacks in between each one of my like things I say. Like I'm
Get the
feeling
blood
good.
flowing. Okay, I like
I'm
that.
flowing.
First thing we're gonna jump into though, the game seven happened on Sunday. It was a while back, but we'll touch over a couple things. I mean, the Celtics never didn't lead this game. The Heat tried to make many comebacks, but never quite succeeded. Tatum, 26 points. Smart, 24.
6.
Brown, 24. I mean, all your big boys got the points. Everyone else kind of was just there, but was enough to get the job done in game seven, pretty
Big
much.
three came through.
Butler, 35, wasn't good enough. Bam,
Gotta have
25.
40.
I mean, no one. I mean, Struess. He was out there doing whatever the fuck. Tucker just sitting in the corner with his shiny nice shoes. And then Hero played, but did he really play?
Yeah. Well, Strus had a massive three though that like got the
Yeah,
game like in a reachable position where they had a chance to like bring it back and potentially win or tie the game.
yeah. I
So
watched this whole game, but I don't remember a fucking thing that
it's
happened.
been a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I do remember Strus did the thing, and that's kind of why he was kind of their go-to guy to get the game close because he was like their best three-point shooter on the court. I think when they were kind of doing the whole thing,
Yeah.
trying to get back there.
Yeah, I mean, Butler plays the whole game to be expected. He took that three at the end of the game to get a 1 point lead. It just has something you agree with him doing, or should he take in like a two or waited and got a better
Yeah,
shot?
I think honestly, in my opinion, that's a good basketball shot. I mean, we're talking about someone like Jimmy Butler, who's known to be a pretty good clutch player. He's hit big clutch threes before. I mean, he was open. It's a rhythm three. Those are the best kind of threes when you're dribbling into rhythm and you're open. That's like
Mm-hmm.
the easiest three to hit in a basketball game. And I mean, that's Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna live or die with what he wants to do. That's the guy that's gotten me there that far. I mean, I'm not gonna tell him he shouldn't do that. Personally, I know a lot of people disagreed with the shot though. What's your opinion on it?
Um, I agree. He could have maybe gone for an easier shot, get a layup, draw a foul, tie the game up. You get all the momentum on your side. But if you do hit that three, that's damn near a dagger, and you're in a good chance to win Game Seven. But he missed it. It's basketball, makes and misses. It's unfortunate, but the Celtics moved on. Game Seven.
Yeah, just want to like my point of view is you live or die with what Jimmy Butler's doing because he's the one that's gotten you that far. He's gonna like by no means was it a bad shot. He didn't pull a contested three, so I mean I don't really see a reason to be mad at him for taking it.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm not mad about it. It happened. Live and die.
You wouldn't get your pitchfork out and
No.
storm the
Mm-mm.
Miami Heat arena.
I might bring a sign maybe like in protest of like maybe taking like a driving in drawing a foul, but I wouldn't. No pitchforks would need to be involved. I wouldn't. I'm not.
You wouldn't
I wouldn't
you
go that
wouldn't bring a
far.
pitchfork out.
No, I
You're
can't even
better than
afford a
that.
pitchfork.
No, I get that.
All right, moving on to the couple teams that are no longer in the playoffs, going over their rosters, what they're gonna do. Probably not nothing, but we'll take a look at the Mavericks. Obviously, Jalen Brunson is their big guy. That's a free agent. And
Yeah.
anything else? I mean, it just looks like a whole lot of fucking locked up
Um
contracts.
Yeah, they're just kind of locked in right now to what they got, so not really a whole lot.
Their free agents
I'll
are
pull it up on my own screen so I can see it a little better here. But
Trey
yeah,
Burke, Brunson, Theo Pinson. There we go. That's a
Theo,
name.
gotta love Theo.
Yeah, I mean, besides like re-signing Brunson to a fat fucking contract, I don't really know looking at. I mean, that Bertans contract looks a little spooky right now.
Yeah, they Bertans, the Dinwiddie contract isn't the nicest out there. I mean, he
Oh,
did show up in the playoffs, so
I
and the
got
Hardaway
yeah,
contract, at least the Hardaway contract is going down every year. So that's like 16 mil a year for Hardaway isn't bad. So I mean, once it gets to that point, it's cool.
yeah. Didn't obviously play a
Um,
majority of this season, but see what he does
yeah.
next year.
Yeah, no, and I mean the Dorian Finney-Smith like 15 mils like kind of a lot for Dorian. Like he's a like it's not a lot, but like I don't mind that contract. I think that's a solid contract going on over there. I
Yeah,
don't I like some of their like kind of what they're doing, but it's just like they're so locked up in money. It's kind of hard for them to make a lot of moves unless it's by sign and trade.
yeah. I mean, I don't
I
really
mean
see what their path to victory is to really.
like this year, for instance,
Yeah,
they're minus 61 mil in cap.
it's definitely not good.
And
It's
and
not
they're
good at
kind
all.
of stuck like that. I mean, they're losing like 30 mil in contracts in the off season, but they're not gonna let probably like Maxi Clevo walk, and they're probably not gonna let like I mean they're gonna have to pick up minimum contracts and stuff to replace these guys anyway. So there's just no and like they got Finney Smith, Bertans, Dinwiddie, Hardaway, and Luca all locked up, and the Bullock contract is not guaranteed. So is the Dinwiddie. I guess Dinwiddie's is not guaranteed, but even without those two contracts, they're gonna be over the cap.
Do you think they
So
re-sign Brunson?
I think they're in a position where they kind of have to, just based on their contracts, because realistically, their books aren't going to be free until 24, 25, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be too free. It'll be free, but like still paying Hardaway and Finney Smith a combined 30 mil that year,
Yeah.
which brings up the total for that year to 72 mil about, because you're paying Luca 42 mil.
What do you
And
what do you think the
yeah.
Mavericks need to do to win a championship with this roster? Do they run it back
Really,
or do
I think
they?
they kind of have to. I think what their best way to go about it is they're gonna have to try to find some kind of trade that pushes them over the edge because they're not really gonna be able to make a big time signing. They're not gonna be able
Yeah.
to clear their books and sign a free agent. Maybe they could get somebody that just really wants to be a Maverick that come in free agency, like
There's been a lot of those.
via sign and trade, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just not the most likely. I mean, they're a big market, but they're not like a Lakers, like in a way where they're gonna like have like someone just only want to go to the Lakers or something. It's probably not gonna be like that with the Mavs. It could be, but I
Yeah.
would say they probably try to make a trade for someone that could push them over the edge. That's my best thought about the whole thing. I think they got to bring Brunson back. If anything, he's at least a trade piece that can match a max contract if there's one out there,
Mm-hmm.
or like at least help them match it. So.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
this
mean they
team's
got the
one player
pieces to
away.
make a good trade maybe. They don't have the most assets. They got some picks, but the only real young player they got that could be worth any value would be Brunson, and he's not like super young.
Yeah, he was an older fellow coming into the NBA, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he came in after some big old success in college,
Mm-hmm.
a few years in the books.
Yeah, we'll
Second
see.
round pick, I believe.
Yeah, he was like the first pick in the second round.
Yeah,
It's a big out of
yeah.
me, I know, just absolute pool. I mean, big Brunson guy. What can I say?
That was pretty good
Two-time
out of you.
national
I'll give it to
championship
you.
winner. I mean, just
Yeah, I mean,
stud.
do you see anything personally that like maybe you would try to do with the Mavs or like you think they should do or
Just pile a bunch of these fucking good role players into a big package and just trade for an absolute stud and figure it out.
yeah, it kind of seems like the way they are gonna have to go about it.
Put Finney
Uh,
Smith. I mean, just
what
throw in the
about
boys.
Brunson for you?
I think they have to resign him because they don't bring him back. They're in some shit. Because
Yeah, and it's just they're not really gaining anything by not re-signing him
yeah,
because like maybe a little bit more cap flexibility little later on, but it's not gonna be worth it in my opinion. But yeah, that's the Mavs.
that's the Mavs. On to the Miami Heat as I find this team. Let me take a look down.
Let's
Okay,
go Heat.
looking for the Heat.
Let's
Looking
go Heat.
for there they are, right on my mouse. Nice.
Let's go Heat.
All right, multi-year. Jimmy Butler locked up for years and years to come. So is Bam. Duncan Robinson, who they played maybe 3 minutes in the playoffs, Kyle Lowry, and then everyone else is pretty free, semi. They're
Yeah.
not getting really paid shit. Struess isn't getting paid. Hero's not getting paid. Vincent. So they got some room. Probably have to
Yeah,
re-sign some of
this
those guys.
this team is pretty locked up too.
Do they have any cap, or is it all?
Nah, they're not. I mean, they're gonna be paying basically Bam, Jimmy Butler, and Kyle Lowry. It combined like at 100 over 100 mil. So they just really can't have cap basically.
Mm, so do they wait to sign Hero? I guess they just until like next season, give him that big contract that they're probably gonna give him.
Yeah, I mean he's a restricted free agent, so they're gonna be able to sign him no matter what, and they're gonna have to give him a big contract, so they're just gonna be even more like for sure in the cap. Like they're not gonna be their only way of like actually probably getting like seriously better is by trading a contract for like a Kyle Lowry contract potentially for somebody with picks and like maybe a young guy. Maybe they trade a hero or something, try to get a star. But
Yeah.
I don't think they would trade a hero, but that's just like an example.
I mean, this team's pretty locked. I think the only way they can improve and win is if Struess takes a leap. Vincent maybe. Omar Yurtsvin was like a rebounding machine. He didn't play out all in the playoffs, but if he develops, I mean,
Yeah.
they got some players.
And they draft super well, so I mean, there's always a chance to add someone that could be pretty good for them in any of the next couple drafts. So
Yeah, and I mean, they may win Game 7 Eastern Conference Finals. It's not like this team is like off, like far off. I mean, they're right there. They just.
yeah, really, I think the key for this team is how far can Bam take steps? Like, how many steps can Bam take to like become the guy to help them take the next step as a team? And Tyler Hero too, obviously, but it lies on those two. You're gonna get what you get from Jimmy Butler. I mean, he's getting up there. Eventually, he's gonna have to regress,
Mm-hmm.
but
33.
Lowry's gonna give you his like Chris Paul numbers with a little less impact, but still out there giving you some stuff. And I mean, you got what you got with the team. You got players that will step in when players are older, and you got Bam and Hero to kind of carry the torch and hopefully elevate you to the next level. And I think they're probably just gonna be banking on those two.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much have their core locked in, and if they don't start playing Duncan Robinson in these playoffs, that's how that contract's gonna look mighty ass. He's getting paid 16, 18, 19, 19. Then
Yeah,
invest
it's
another
kind of
29. I mean, Jesus.
I don't
Why?
know what the estimate mean. There's no shot they're paying
I
him if
hope
they're
not.
paying him
Good
29
fucking.
mil. Oh, it's a cap hold. Oh,
Okay,
okay.
I was gonna
That's
say
like how
that's
much their
psychotic.
hold's gonna be in free agency
But
then.
still, I mean, if
I
he
guess.
didn't play a lick in the playoffs. Like he played like a few minutes here and there, but really no impact. He's like
Yeah,
their
that's.
fourth highest
I
paid
wonder
player.
if they actually like had to pay. Like, I don't see why they would have had to pay Duncan Robinson a contract where he's getting up to 20 mil in like this far in advance.
Yeah,
Because
I
I mean, he
don't
was
know.
good, but he wasn't like a good defense. He was pretty much just like
He's
a
just a
run
sniper.
around screen, just hit threes for you guy. Which like I mean, those guys get overpaid like in
He's
the
your
league
JJ
all the
Redick, damn
time.
near like a bigger
Like
your
I mean,
bigger
those
Redick.
guys get some bags, but I mean, I don't know. It seems like they
But those
just
guys
gave a
that get
lot
bags
for
are
him.
playing. They're playing big minutes.
Well,
Duncan
I
Robinson's
mean,
out there fucking
there's some
playing
players
13th man
that get
minutes.
paid just because they can hit threes and they're just not good. I mean,
You have any
look at
examples?
Bertans for
Oh shit,
existence.
there we go. There's an
For
example
example, I said existence.
for existence. No, nice, good shit.
For
I mean,
existence.
it's like yeah,
But
they're
yeah,
getting
no, there's a
paid.
lot of
It's
players.
like
I
the
mean,
same.
Joe Harris is the same kind of thing as Duncan Robinson. Like those players get overpaid.
Yeah, you can hit your threes at a consistent, somewhat rate. I mean, you're getting the bag. That's the NBA
Yeah, and
nowadays.
eh, personally, like I think that's just not that. Like I wouldn't want to give 20 bill to. Like I get like it's valuable. You need 3-point shooters, but if you can get a guy that's a little worse at shooting threes that can play like do a little more defensively and just in other ways in the game, like I don't know, 20 mil is a lot for a guy that's just gonna give you 40% from three.
Yeah, they do have a lot of free agents who are all like a bunch of old boys. I mean, Oladipo is probably gone, gonna get a bigger contract somewhere else. I'd assume.
I don't know how much of a bigger contract he's gonna get because he's just so injury prone. I don't know if he's like I mean I'm sure he'll probably get a mid level from somebody.
I'm hearing the Kings, so that's yeah.
Is
It's like
that
that's a fucking
your
Kings
sources
move.
or that would be honestly I could see that being a Kings like because that has good upside potential. I
Yeah,
mean It's someone like All Depot could eventually turn more towards his older self. He'd get back with his boy Sabonis.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, for the right amount of
I
money.
I think that's honestly a solid fit. I don't think All Depot he's probably gonna sign like a 2 year like 9.5 million a year, like a little mid-level exception sort of thing. I don't think he's
Hmm.
gonna get. There could be a team that pays him a little more just to try to get him, but I don't know. I mean, he's an interesting player going into the free agency, no doubt.
Is Haslam ever gonna fucking retire, or is he just gonna keep riding out on the bench with his
Well,
motivation?
there was a thing. I think he said
Yeah.
himself, he's gonna really need some time to think about, like the loss to the Celtics and really take that in before
Okay,
he decides
when
anything on retirement.
when's the last time he's stepped on a basketball court?
Sure, there's been some blowouts and he's maybe took a step
I
on the
I
basketball
gotta
court.
just I'm just curious because okay, okay,
Hey, in the
he's
last 3 seasons, he's played, why can I count? Yeah, 18 games. That was right there. Then he played 10,
I
14,
mean
10.
since 2015-16 he basically
Wait,
hasn't
go
been playing
scroll
basketball.
down until it says totals where like the per game is. Yeah, totals right here. How many minutes has he gotten? I can't read what that says.
Uh,
It's like the third column or
oh,
something.
minutes
Yeah.
played is 83.
He
This
got 83 minutes
three
this year. That's
minutes the
pretty
year before
big.
the COVID year. Then
44 minutes a
44,
year.
74, 70. He this is his most played basketball season in like 5 years. And I didn't even I thought he was I literally don't I didn't know he actually played. They just sat there. I thought he was just like a motivational speaker for when they were
I mean,
in
he's probably a
timeouts.
really good locker room leader and but like it's just interesting that
Just
he's
add him
still
to the front
pumping.
office at this point. I mean, this guy's just getting paid to sit there.
Uh, Probably, yeah. They would think there's like a coaching staff position he could get put on, right? Maybe.
I mean, he has to. I mean, he didn't. The one shot he took the year before this one, he didn't made it, and that was it. In his 3 minutes he played. I mean, what? I don't
Yeah.
get it. I mean, we'll see.
I
That's the
mean, it's
big
cool
thing
to
this
see
off
someone
season.
still kicking and going for that long. Good for you. Good for you, Donis.
Just trying to scam him and get past Vince Carter or something. I mean, he's about to be 42 here relatively soon. It looks like.
He's just going, man.
Gotta respect it, but that's the Heat. See what they can do. On to the big finals. We'll take a look at the odds a little bit here. This is every game and every possible series outcome and the odds. Obviously, the Warriors, the sweep is plus 1200. The Celtics, the sweep is plus 1500. The closest odds is the Warriors to win in game seven.
7. And the second closest is the
Celtics in
Celtics to win
six.
4-2.
Yeah.
You see, I think that would be flipped the opposite way around personally. I think if it goes to game 7, I kind of like the Celtics more, and I like the Warriors more in a game 6 closeout scenario, especially with like a game 6 play out there potentially. But yeah,
Should we give our predictions out
I can
here?
see it.
Should we run it?
Yeah, I'm ready
All
to I'm
right.
ready to get mine. You can go first if you want, or I can. It's really up to you.
You can go first. You got it. I'll give you the
I'll
floor.
take the reins here. This is a series I kind of see going 2 ways. I mean, there's a chance it goes in the middle. I mean, I kind of think the Warriors are either going to kind of just blow the brakes off them, which this isn't my prediction, but this is like the other way I could see it going. I think the Warriors could just play way better team basketball and just beat them quick.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like a 4 or 5, not 4 games, but like a 5 game sort of thing, maybe a 6 games, but like the Warriors are like winning pretty convincingly in most of the games, and the Celtics are maybe squeaking 2 out. But my prediction is I think the Celtics get it in 7.
Interesting.
I think if it gets to game 7, I think the Celtics win. If it doesn't get to game 7, I think it's probably going to be the Warriors winning. But I think this is a pretty evenly matched series. I like Tatum and Brown more like at the end of a game in the clutch.
Right.
And I think just due to that, I like the Celtics more in a game 7 scenario. I think if they can keep it close with the Warriors in most of these games, I think they can pull away at the end and maybe take some games from them, keep the series close, get it to game 7. I think they can win. So I like the
Mm.
dog and Marcus Smart. I like him on
Mm.
Curry and on like Clay. If Clay's hot in a game, like I like that he can kind of do all that. And they still got 2 good wing defenders in Brown and Tatum, especially in Tatum. And they can kind of maybe counteract the Clay, Curry, Wiggins sort of thing going on there. Poole when he's in. I like the defenders the Celtics got against the Warriors. I like the way they kind of match up. I think it's going to be hard for them to guard Tatum. I mean, Wiggins is good. He like fits good, but then who's on Brown? If you got him, like if you got Wiggins on Tatum, like I don't really they don't got like two defenders in my eyes that are going to be really holding Brown and Tatum. Like you got Wiggins, but who's your second guy you're going to? Are you going to Draymond maybe on Tatum
Is
and
Clay
then
not that guy anymore in defense? Is he the
I
injuries
mean
have
he's
taken
just
a
not the
step
same
back?
defensive guy after all the injuries. Like I
It's
mean
unfortunate.
he could maybe like it's just Jalen Brown and Tatum are also so athletic that I think it'd be hard for Clay after all these injuries to maybe keep them in check. Like maybe he could pull it back and do it, but I don't know. I just kind of like the way the Celtics match up against the Warriors here, personally. I mean, Robert Williams also, I think, has an advantage over whoever's at center, unless it's Draymond. And I
Okay.
mean, Horford too is playing great if he's hitting. I just like the way the Celtics are look. They're like they got really good team defense. I wish the offense was maybe a little more team oriented, but yeah, I'm gonna go Celtics.
Okay.
What about you here?
I have the Warriors in 7, and I have a few reasons. They've been here, they've done that. This is their sixth trip in 8 years. Klay Thompson has made 6 straight finals. Hasn't the
That
2 years they
guy.
missed, he was injured, so he just knows about winning. They have the same core. They have home court advantage throughout the playoffs, and they tend to play really well at home. They were 31-10 this year in the regular season. I don't know about the playoffs, but I mean, they've got their boys. They got Curry, they got Clay back. Draymond's been playing good. Jordan Poole off the bench is a force to be reckoned with. Kevon Looney's a rebounding fucking machine, apparently. Wasn't aware of that till these past few games. Robert Williams is like they're he's been in and out of the lineup, injured. I think the Warriors are more healthy than the Celtics coming into it. They've had more rest after
Yeah,
the
keep in mind
finals.
though, each team did get a decent amount of rest going into this series because like there was
Yeah.
a decent amount of days off in between this and the Heat game. So
When did the Warriors and the
the Warriors
Mavericks?
have had a lot
It's
of
been a
rest,
week,
but
right? It has to have been a week. I don't remember
I
when
can
that
take a peek
happened.
while you're talking about it and I'll budge
All
in
right.
and tell you how long it's been for each team.
But yeah, I like the core the Warriors got. They're bringing it back. They've won it before. They got home court. If it goes game 7, I like the Warriors at home to win. I know they'll have the most clutch players on their team. Curry in game 7s and just overall in the clutch isn't the most stellar player you would want. But I think they get it done. I think Tatum and Brown and the boys are like a couple years off or a year off. I like the Dubs, the Bay Area team to win it for like the what fourth time in 8 years. I mean, it's a dynasty.
Yeah, the Warriors, this will be a week for the Warriors. They played their last game on last Thursday. And for the Celtics, they played their last game on Sunday, so they're going to be getting Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah,
full rest days, and then going into today. So,
Gary
and they're both
Payton's also
fairly
back.
rested. But I mean, going a week too, though, like if you're going a
Could be
week
bad.
rest, that's like a lot because I mean, it's hard to go a week without an NBA game. Come like teams do struggle with that at times, so that could be a bit of a worry for them.
It could be.
Um, yeah, yeah, I like that. I definitely see a way where either team can win this series. I think it just kind of depends on like how it's going. I mean, obviously, like it's going to depend on certain things for each team and how they're clicking. I think it's a pretty close matchup. Both teams are good. It's just when I look at this Warriors team, they're obviously just not the same as the last few Warriors teams that have been in title contention.
Yeah,
And
they're a bit
I
older.
like their supporting cast. I just like the perimeter defenders the Celtics have when it comes to defending that. So like that whole cast the Warriors got. But I like the way the Warriors play basketball a little more, especially on offense, like the team
Mm-hmm.
oriented.
You got that
There we
shit.
go. I
Killed it.
found the
Fuck
word I
yeah.
was looking
Fuck
for,
yeah.
oriented.
Come on.
I like the team oriented
Uh huh.
basketball on offense the Warriors have. There is just a more consistent way to play basketball when you're passing it around a lot, getting more open shots, you're finding players in rhythm, more open, just getting the ball around, swinging the ball, everyone's touching the ball so they're in tune with the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing that has me a little more worried about my Celtics pick is the fact that they don't really have that same team-oriented offensive style, which I find it a lot harder to win. I just like their defense so much, even though the Warriors are great defensively.
Some good insight. I like that. Gary Payton
Yeah,
is back. I mean, he's a dog, so they got a
yeah, he
dog
is.
back.
He's a dog. He barks
He
out
does
there for
bark.
sure.
So I mean,
Just at least no matter what, I think it should be an entertaining finals as long as the Warriors team-oriented basketball just absolutely doesn't break the Celtics defense down just right. Like I don't think it should, but it could. There's a situation where I could see it happening,
yeah,
where the Warriors just kind of blitz them. But
yeah, it's probably not a.
I don't think it will. So I think it should be a good NBA Finals.
Yeah, I think well, this is probably the best finals like matchup that we've had, and like the most even in what fucking years?
While
Because I mean,
well,
last
I
year,
mean, well, yeah, the Suns and Bucks were a pretty even matchup,
yeah,
I'd
but
say last year.
it was. But I always thought the Suns were a little
It
a
was
tad
too
on the
early
fraudulent
probably for
side.
the Suns. I mean, and also it's like the Suns, like almost no one was actually has really been there, done that for them before. But it's like Chris Paul and Jay Crowder were like the only two guys there that were like actually playoff, big
Hmm.
time playoff guys that have been through it, seen it all.
Well, has
And
Chris
still
Paul
like
seen it
Chris
all?
Paul's never even seen the finals. So like I mean, but he's like someone that was a veteran. Like they didn't
Yeah,
really have a lot of like playoff presence on that team that have really been through it. So
yeah. I like this. I like this matchup more than last year's. The year before, the Heat were just injured, and
I think
that
it's
wasn't
a
fair.
cooler, more entertaining matchup. I don't, I'm not gonna say I wanted to see the Warriors here per se, but
Yeah, it is what it is. They got the winning formula. They
and
got it.
hopefully that's not swaying my pick, and I hope that my mind hasn't tricked myself into picking the Celtics just due to the fact that I'm not the biggest Warriors fan. But
Yeah,
I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here, and I just
I
see a
respect
way
that.
where I mean, I gave my reasoning. I said why I like the Celtics, and I said I think it's going to be a good matchup, and I could see the Warriors winning too. You got any keys to why you could see either team winning? Like anything you want to see from like a certain player in either
Um,
team, or like what they need to do to really like win this game or to win this series?
I think Jordan Poole is the X factor coming off the bench. If he can go in when the Celtics bench is in for the short period it will be, if he can take over during those times and periods, I mean, I think if he has big games and is averaging like 20, that'll help the Warriors a lot.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Draymond, obviously, the dog, not gonna get the most points necessarily, but like just his defense, his leadership, assisting. I mean, passing. I mean, I like those two for the Warriors, and you just
Is there
expect
anything
Curry
that
to do what they
you
do.
Yeah, 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 of course, of course. Yeah,
Hmm.
I like that. I like that from you.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything that you specifically see in the Celtics that maybe if somebody's
Uh,
given them or doing that could help them win the series over the Warriors that you picked?
I think Grant Williams for the Celtics has to stay hot. 40% from three this year. I mean, if he's cold and not shooting the rock well, I think that it doesn't help. They're the Celtics shooting wise. Are they? I don't know. They got Tatum. He's a dog.
Yeah, I
Brown.
mean they got Tatum, Brown,
I mean, Derek White
Williams,
can get hot.
Horford's been banging. He can bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean they got some shooters. Pritchard is a really good shooter, but he's off and on the court as is Derek White.
I think the role players for Boston need to show up, like White, Grant Williams. I think Horford has to keep playing well. Hopefully, William or Robert Williams can stay healthy. I mean, just a few
Yeah,
things here and there.
Yeah, one of my keys for the Celtics personally is they need to have a third guy every game. They need somebody to be that third scorer, whether it's Marcus Smart, Grant Williams, or Al Horford. Probably has to be one of those three. I mean, there could be one game maybe in the series where you get a Pritchard or Derek White game where they give you like five threes, give you like 18, 20 points or something.
Yeah.
But I think you need Horford, Smart, or Grant Williams to step up for you. At least one of them has to step up every game. Could be maybe even it could be Robert Williams maybe even for a game. But you need that third guy every game, and you need like a couple players to at least be semi-consistent for them that aren't Tatum and Brown. You can't have a Brown stinker or really a Tatum stinker. Yeah, I think you need Brown and Tatum to be aggressive, keep the Warriors on their toes, maybe get someone like Draymond in foul trouble, try to get the leader in trouble,
Mhm.
Maybe hopping into one of my keys for the Warriors.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Draymond needs to be able to stay on the court.
That
He's
would
their
help.
defensive leader.
Mhm.
He's the glue on that defense. He holds them together. You can't lose him for any games really. You know, maybe keep him from getting suspended too. That's something he's
Yeah.
potentially struggled
No
with in
ball
the
kicking would
past.
help. No elbowing. I
No,
mean,
just don't get nasty with one of
no
the
nasty.
refs.
Yeah, don't scream. Don't throw your mouth guard. I mean, just
You need to keep
be
Draymond
cordial.
in the game for the defense to just keep that defense together and to keep Brown and Tatum in check. And then just like for the Warriors offensively, you need Curry and Clay to be like they're two people that like have been somewhat inconsistent this just like year in playoffs in a way
Yeah.
where like they've had some bad games, they've had some really good games, but you need a more consistent like Clay and Curry than you've been getting, in my opinion. Uh, I think obviously you want something from Poole and Wiggins, but I think it really this series lies on Curry and Clay to step up and show that they can do it and they can win again.
Hmm. Well, are those your keys right there to victory?
I think those are my keys to victory. You want to see we'll can quickly do a rewind here. You want to see
Okay.
Draymond stay out of foul trouble, stay on the court,
Right.
no suspensions. You just
Okay.
need Draymond out there to hold the defense down,
Hmm.
and you need Curry and Clay to be pretty consistent throughout the series. You want them to be hitting their threes. Make sure they're giving you a pretty consistent number of points every game, showing up. You can't for either team really. This is just like an either team thing, which is not really the most controllable. Usually, the role players will play better at home, but you need your role players to at least be decently consistent for you. But that's just every time you want that. But for the Celtics, my keys were Brown or what were my?
Oh, you got
God, I've
this. You
lost them.
train, train.
It
Get
just
it back.
left
Run
my
it
head
back.
right
Run it
there.
back.
It was you
Uh-huh.
need the third scorer
Yep. There it is.
between Smart, Williams, and Horford. One of
Right.
them needs to step up pretty much every game for you. You need at least one of them giving you something.
Okay.
And then you needed maybe come in
Mm-hmm.
here. What was my?
Let me try to help you here. Okay. I mean, Derek White's
Did
gonna
I
keep
have
trading
another
Pritchard's a dog.
one? He's a dog.
Tatum and
Oh,
Brown.
what was
Maybe some
my? I don't remember.
defense.
Did I have another
I
one?
forgot. I
I
mean, I wasn't. I don't know.
no. I can't remember now. Losing
Well,
it.
let's just say that was your only one, so
Well,
you don't.
you know, yeah. We'll say that's the only one. You know, I guess I'll just say you need to stick. You need to
Yeah.
stick on Curry. You can't let Curry or Clay get astronomically hot because that could lose you a game. So you need to hopefully you're sticking on them, following them around the off-ball screens, making sure you don't let them get too many open shots.
No, I agree. The Warriors are
But yeah,
minus 3.5 tonight at home.
I
At home.
like this series. You know, I think that's actually one thing I will say. The Celtics I think need to take one of the first two games. I think
Yeah,
the
if they lose
Celtics
both at
need to
home, I
come out
think
and
it might
take
be
one of the
ugly.
first two games, and I think the first game's the game they're gonna come out and take if they do take one, because the Warriors are off a 7-day break. They haven't gotten to play an NBA basketball game in a while, a week.
Could be a little cold, you know,
It could be a little cold.
shivering a little bit.
Some of the newer guys to the team could have a little nerves coming into their first final game. Jordan Poole, all
Hmm.
that. Yeah, no, this is an opportunity I think the Celtics got to jump on if they want to come out and win this series. They need to take one of the first two probably. So,
I got another
I mean,
question
we'll
for you.
see. They didn't like lose any home games, I think, pretty much throughout the playoffs so far. So,
Is that the
uh,
Warriors?
no, the
Oh, the
Celtics. I mean,
Celtics.
I'm
Oh,
sure the
shit.
Warriors probably have been pretty good on their home court, but yeah, I don't think the Celtics have really lost. I think they lost like one in the Miami series finally, or did they?
They lost.
I think every home game was won in the Miami series besides Game 7, if I remember right. But I could be tripping.
It sounds right. I mean, I could take a look.
Did the Heat go up? I think I may be losing my mind. Am I?
Miami won.
Nah.
Or the Celtics lost the first game. That was at home, right? Or no, the Heat. Yeah, wait, no, the
That's
Heat
the
was at
Heat's
home.
home court. So they
The
Celtics
Heat
took
won game
they
two, and that
split
was
the
a
home games right there, and
yeah.
then
Well,
this
either way,
the
they
Heat
had to
won
have won
theirs. The
one, right?
Celtics won. Yeah, and then the Celtics against the Bucks. They who was okay, so versus Milwaukee, the Bucks did take one off their home court. So I just kind of lied to you basically, and
Oh,
they lost their home court there. Thought there was something like that though. Maybe I was tripping.
take a look at the Warriors. for a
Maybe
sec.
it was the Warriors. I don't
They
know. They
they
won every
lose.
home court game against Denver.
They
They,
won them all versus the Memphis,
and they
and
won them all
they.
against the Mavs. So it
Okay,
was
so
probably the Warriors, I guess, that I
so
was
the
thinking
Warriors have
about.
not lost the home game yet. Okay, I like
So
that.
yeah, that even makes it more essential that the Celtics need to come out and take one of the first two because if they're gonna do it, they gotta take a Warriors home game because the Warriors are gonna have four and the Celtics are gonna have three
Yeah,
if it goes the whole way.
that's good math. That's a good pull
So
right there.
yeah, you need Celtics need to come out and take a home game, preferably probably in the first two if you're the Celtics.
I got one last question here to close this out. Who's gonna be your Finals MVP?
Ooh, I'll go for both sides here.
Okay.
I think if the I think it probably has to be the boring answers for both
Yeah.
teams. Actually, now that
All
I'm
right.
thinking about it,
I'll
I mean,
spice
it
it
could
up.
be a Brown. I
Okay.
mean, we can give our like, is there odds in this potentially out there? Uh,
Yeah, I would hope so. I'll take a look. What
I
do you
would
think?
think I would think it probably would be Curry and Tatum. I think Curry would probably get his first of the Warriors when the I mean, yeah, you would assume could be
Um,
could be Brown on the Celtics side. It could be Smart maybe if he's just playing fantastically on Curry all series.
looks like it's Curry at plus 110, then Tatum, then just massive fall off.
I wouldn't.
Brown,
I mean,
Clay.
Brown at 1,000 isn't bad to be honest,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
because he's not like he easily could just be the best player in the series. Like I mean, it's very possible. Like he could have a really good series. I mean, I don't hate that. Um, I just think if the Warriors win, it kind of has to be Curry in my head. That's the Finals MVP. I could maybe see a world where Draymond does it, but I don't think like I think he's not going to be as on ball with like the Celtics' best defenders. So I don't really see or with the Celtics' best like with Tatum and Brown. I don't know if he's going to be on ball a lot with them. He
Right.
could be with Tatum. So I don't like know if his defensive impacts in the eyes of the media is going to be enough to give him a Finals MVP. It could be Wiggins, I guess. I could see
Good lord.
Wiggins going to be guarding Tatum and Brown, like if
Yeah.
he's locking up Tatum or something and
You don't like
giving
Bielitsa down
Warriors.
there at plus 50,000?
I mean, I would put money on
Moses
him
Moody.
or Moody,
Okay,
maybe.
there you go. There's some dogs down there.
Yeah, no. Where's Grant Williams at? Why is he not in here?
That's a
Is he?
yes. Wait, am I blind?
Why is he? Why is Moses Moody
The
and
no love to
Bielitsa in
Grant
here, but not
Williams. I
Grant
mean,
Williams?
that guy's playing pretty big minutes. I mean,
Derek
shit,
White's plus 15,000.
shit. No Grant. That's tough.
Time Lords in there. Yeah, no. We really just are we blind or is
No,
Grant
he's
just
not in
not
there.
here? Why is he
He's not
not?
there.
Is he not supposed to play or something?
No, he's definitely playing. I just don't. They just don't give a fuck about him. They just think he's not gonna show up or something. Is
Yeah, no.
this
I mean, if you were taking any like any plus 1,000 or further bets at anything that jumps out to you as a potential like guy you would
well, I
take.
think my MVP, my finals MVP pick is actually plus 1,000 and
Oh,
higher. So should I just get into it?
who are yours? Yeah, go for yours
Well,
here.
I'll get to the boring one because I think if the Celtics are gonna win this series, Tatum has to be the best player on the court, obviously. But for the Warriors, I
Yeah.
think it could be a bit different. I mean, Curry has yet to win one, and I'm gonna continue on that trend because I just think it's funny. So I'm gonna actually not even pick Clay. I'm not even gonna pick Draymond. You know who I'm gonna pick?
I know who you're gonna
That
pick.
dirty
Can
dog.
I guess?
Go ahead.
Jordan Poole.
Yep. This is I have some reasoning. So I have it going to 7. And we all know how the Warriors are in Game Sevens. They're not the clutchest team. They don't have dogs
If
out there
anyone's
to
gonna
close
step
it.
up in Game 7, it could be Jordan Poole.
I think Jordan Poole comes out Game 7 and he closes it out, drops him off, and up to that point, I think he's gonna have a good enough series and stats that he'll be in contention for it already. And then I think if he closes out Game
He's just
7,
stroking that basketball in Game 7 is what
mm-hmm,
you're thinking.
and if he goes in there, drops like a 35-point game and close out Game 7, and has enough already in the past games where he's already right there in contention for it, I think he's gonna steal it. And I think it'd
He
be
could.
funny.
I mean, I could see that as a possibility for sure. Um,
Yeah, I like it. It's
yeah,
my
maybe
wild
like
pick, but I like it.
any the plus 1,000s I could see like potentially getting it. I could see Brown obviously. I don't know if I don't think Clay's gonna be like I don't really think he's gonna get it. I mean, I could see a world where he does, but I don't think he's gonna outperform Curry and Poole for the whole series. Draymond, like I said earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of it just because I don't think he's gonna be completely guarding Tatum throughout like the series or something. So
Hmm.
I don't think he's gonna be having enough of a defensive impact in everyone's eyes to get it. I like Poole. I think he's a good potential guy to get there. I think Marcus Smart could be if he's clamping Curry. That could be something. Wiggins if he's maybe doing the job on
If he's in,
Tatum
yeah,
or Wiggins or Tatum or Brown. Al Horford, honestly, I could see as a somewhat
Big
okay
Al.
pick down there if he's like just absolutely banging from three. We've seen him have some really good playoff games this playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I like it.
those are probably like my guys maybe to look out for that have the higher odds. Maybe Grant Williams down
Yeah,
there at
maybe
plus like
if
100,000.
is this.
You can sneak him in.
I don't know why he's not here. That's actually
It is kind
he's
of
like the
weird,
only
but
person that plays minutes that isn't here. I don't understand. It's fucked
why
up.
isn't Pritchard? I don't understand why
Nope.
Moody's there. Why is
Yeah,
Moody
Moody
there?
and
Has he played
Bielitsa.
a
I don't think
minute?
Bielitsa is in the rotation, but
I think he could sneak in. I could see Bielitsa sneaking in there, but like I don't know if I've seen Moody in any like I mean I
I
don't
see
know.
him in garbage time when they've been blowing
I
dudes
mean
out. But
Like Pritchard plays. Why is Pritchard not there over
no
one
load with
of
the
them or
Celtics.
Williams or
They just think it's Tatum, Brown, or bust, pretty much. I mean, that's
and I get it. I
I
mean
agree, kind
that's
of, but I
cool.
mean, yeah, no love for
I mean,
Grant.
can you not see a world where maybe Marcus Smart locks up like Curry, like he's
There's
holding them
definitely
to
a
like
world
Curry
like there's a
shooting
universe.
34% or something, getting like 18 a game, and Smart's giving you like 18 a game too, but he's just been absolute clamping Curry, the heart and soul of the Celtics.
I
I can
see
see that.
I see a world. I just think if they win, Tatum has to be that dude.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, I
just
think. I mean, if Marcus Smart gets it, it's probably where Tatum and Brown are both just kind of carrying the load evenly. They're both going to be giving you like 25 or something, 27 each, and then like Marcus Smart turned into the third scorer, and he's doing really well in Curry.
I agree.
That's where I see a world where Marcus Smart gets it.
Is there anything else we got to go over here? I
Uh,
think that about
no, not off the top of
wraps
my
our
head.
show up.
Anything you're thinking?
I think we covered it quite well. That was a good episode. Final start tonight.
Yeah, went over the finals. We talked about all of our types of predictions and stuff. We went over some keys that each team could maybe follow to get to the victory.
Mm-hmm.
Hit some of the betting lines. Yeah, I feel
Yep.
like we kind of hit the nail with the hammer pretty hard, super hard.
I agree. And with that, we'll see you next week to cover the games that have already happened. Probably be midway through the series at that point. We'll see how it's been going, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.